Hi, Cleveland. So, I've been trying to make it as a comedian for a little while now, and it took me 2 years to realize actually, the funniest thing about me is my name is Rachel, and the show Friends is really popular right now. I grew up in the 90s when Friends wasn't as popular as Seinfeld. Your parents would actually tell you to turn it off and do your homework, which you didn't really mind because, yeah, Friends was really stupid. Therefore, I only have really like hazy memories of Friends. It was on Netflix like a year back, and I started watching it because basically I have Asperger's or something, and it felt like the news to watch Friends. I share a Netflix account with my parents, and my dad called me 20 minutes into the first episode I was watching to yell at me about something unrelated. And I got really paranoid, and I haven't watched Friends since. I decided to do my homework instead, and I have had about 50 articles published since then. Yeah. Yeah, my parents are kind of strict. Not the strictest, although my mom was a violin teacher, so she had kind of those Asian child Mozart standards. And my dad wasn't the strictest, but he was like 80 when I was born. So he actually threatened to spank me. And I knew he was serious. I have an older sister, and I think when my parents got a second girl, they kind of just went insane and decided I was a boy. They have all these boy standards for me. Like we come from a really rich town and we're Jewish, and the daughters are all like, I want to move to New York City and become a hooker. And the parents are all like, we'll call the broker, you know? I'm like, I have a prestigious but low paying internship in New York City post recession, and the boss wants me to move closer. And my parents are like, you'll be commuting from home until you save enough money to live near that prestigious low yet low paying internship. And I'm like, I need my entire paycheck for gas. And they're like, drive slower. So I'm commuting across the George Washington Bridge every morning with like the CEO of NBC, driving very slowly in a Honda Civic, which is 10 years old. So, what was this prestigious and yet low paying internship? You can clap after I tell you what it was. It is one of the best gardening internships in the world. Yes, you can clap. Yes, you can clap. You can cheer if you want. As a good son, of course, I wanted to do a man's manual labor job and not wear makeup. Yes, there are some amazing female gardeners, but in New Jersey, we don't see any. It's all sweaty Mexican dudes who park their landscaping trucks at the back of the parking lot and eat Chinese food lunch specials. I love Chinese food. I also love landscaping. My parents don't like either. They do like lunch specials though, so that was my marketing point. They wanted their son to enter the family business, which is teaching. I had already been a substitute teacher, but post recession, all the first year real teachers got fired. My parents, who might be watching this now, are remembering this now. I could have reminded them every day that those first year teachers got fired when they wanted me to become a teacher. But I decided to be a stand up comedian and remind them in public 10 years later. So, what do you want to hear about next? The two options are, what did I do for $12.50 an hour as a gardener at one of the best gardens in the world? And the quote here that I can work in is, people with health insurance move to the front. Okay? The next thing I could talk about, the alternative is, or maybe both, what I got for $400 a month rent living in my friend's basement. The quote here is, "We only cleaned the stovetop when we moved out."